James Cook isn't the other offensive weapon. Oh, I messed that up. Kyle Pitts isn't the only other offensive weapon that is fighting for top money at his position. Bills running back James Cook, he has been extremely vocal about this. He is not showing up to OTAs. He went as far as to publicly state on social media that he wants $15 million. That will put him up in the range of what Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey are making. He is, notably though, over the past 2 seasons, had over 1,200 scrimmage yards. You have gone as far as to say that you believe that he could have had more touchdowns if his quarterback wasn't so selfish, and we're not going to rehash that. The comments on that video on the YouTube are fantastic.
Oh, am I getting carved?
Yeah, they're like, who the F is this guy? What is he talking about? You don't know anything about football.
Josh Allen ain't going to slurp you, bro. Okay, so why don't you stop slurping him? James Cook could have had 25 touchdowns last year.
On that note, is James Cook worth top running back money? Because there's no in between here. We talked about this with Kyron.
Yeah.
His production has been tremendous. He's obviously not the biggest piece to their offensive success. One could argue that without James Cook, they could find some success with Ray Davis if they really wanted to. But what do you think of James Cook and the contract he's seeking?
I think it's too much for James Cook because while I disagree with a lot of your stance on Josh Allen versus James Cook, the rushing offense of Buffalo runs through Josh Allen. It just does. It's about him scrambling for extra yards. It's about him in short yardage situations. And James Cook, the lead running back on that team, is the change of pace back, and that's unfortunate. But there's going to be another James Cook. He is not uber special for $15 million a year. I hope he gets paid. I love running backs. I love the way James Cook runs. He runs harder than hell, and he takes over a game. He won. James Cook had that primetime factor last year where maybe it was a Sunday night and a Thursday night or a Sunday night and a Monday night. There were a couple games where he was playing late, and he just took over. And I think it took a lot of weight off of Josh Allen's shoulders having a reliable running option back there. But the Bills are savvy enough, and they haven't shown to me that they are bad at finding running backs where they could find another James Cook. I think James Cook can settle into the $12 million reasonable running back price tag. I know we're seeing a renaissance in the running back contracts because we're seeing the value come back to running backs, but it's not happening that quickly. It just isn't. The league won't let it happen that quickly. It's still a wear and tear position. $15 million is too much for James Cook to be asking for, even though I support it.
I think James Cook is a good running back. I think he's one of the better running backs in the NFL. But to put him into that upper category as a top 5 highest paid running back in the NFL, he's basically asking for like truly premier money. He didn't even lead running backs on his team last year in receiving yards. Ty Johnson was the top receiving running back on the team. Not by much. He had 284.
He's a selfish bastard too. God damn.
He had 284. James Cook had 258. So he's not really as productive as a receiver. James Cook, his career high for receiving yards was in 2023 where he had 445 yards. So he's shown an ability to do it, but this is not like an all-purpose scrimmage dominator. He has been a guy that has fought for extra yards. He has been scrappy. He has been a good player. He's done everything that has been asked of him. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. I'm not paying him top running back money. Like, he deserves to make what we were talking about with Kyron. Kyron making $12 million a year for being a kick-ass player who's been more productive than James Cook over the last 2 years and has played less games than James Cook. I don't understand where he's getting $15 million from. Like, why does he think that he deserves that?
He's just not somebody. He's also not somebody that you really think about that much. And that's tough to say, but
it sucks for him because everyone's thinking about
he gets
Josh
dwarfed
Allen,
by Josh Allen and the other running backs in the league. Like, he's not a top 10 running back. And I don't know if he's a top 15, like, impact name brand running back, which doesn't matter as much to me. But it kind of matters to the fans, and it kind of matters to the front office. And I think they weigh those things pretty heavily. While James Cook is great, and you're going to have 4 to 10 Bills fans that have that sign at a game, but they're all wearing 17. They're all wearing a different number than James Cook because he's a running back.
Yeah.
And the star player on that team, the most important player, also runs the ball like a bat out of hell. So he's just up against it. If he was on a different team, totally. If he was on the Packers behind Jordan Love, I'd have a way different tone because Jordan Love isn't running the rock like that. And he'd have a more pronounced role. I
get what you're saying, but I don't think we need to like dig that deep to make the argument. Here is the important context of it. Well, because that argument doesn't even really work because Josh Jacobs is making 12. So he would be earning, he has earned himself a Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones level contract. We've already
That's fair. That's his level.
We already did this with the Kyron deal when we broke this down. Running back contracts are so different than any other position. We talk about quarterbacks, we talk about receivers, offensive linemen. There's like a slow, gradual scale where it's like this guy makes this much compared to this guy, and it's like a $1 million separation. It goes Saquon at 20.6, it goes Christian McCaffrey at 19, it goes Derrick Henry at 15, Jonathan Taylor at 14, and then we drop all the way down to 12.25 with Alvin Kamara, down to 12 with Josh Jacobs, 10 with Aaron Jones, and then after that, everybody makes less than $10 million. There are guys on here that have been just as productive as James Cook that are not making nearly as much money. David Montgomery has been incredibly productive and has been somebody that has been important for their team's success, who's splitting a role for the whole argument that you were just using. Joe Mixon, he's 29 years old, but he's still earned that right because he's been super productive in his career. And Kamara absolutely has earned it. And this is kind of like, felt like that's more of a contract, him making this money to this point of just, he's earned the right at the age of 30.
It's a lifetime achievement.
Right, a lifetime achievement thing. I say all this to say, you only make 15 if you're comparable to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry might be 31 years old, but you're not as impactful for your team's success as Derrick Henry has been. On two different teams, he has proven that he is a driving force for a team's success for the production that he's put up and the way that he has impacted specific games. Jonathan Taylor is your next closest comparison point, and I would argue even an inconsistently available Jonathan Taylor has been more impactful than James Cook. So no, he deserves to make Josh Jacobs' level of money, nothing more. If Josh Jacobs makes that as what he got as a free agent, commanded in the market, you do not deserve to make more than him.
Hey, he can hold out, though. It's never gone poorly for running backs that hold out.
This is the stupid.
Hey, James
I hope
Cook,
the Bills just trade him if it does turn into this.
Call up Le'Veon. Ask him if he wishes he had held out, gotten a little doughy.
Well, Saquon didn't hold out, but like him,
that's Saquon.
Looking elsewhere.
Hey, that's Saquon.
That's true.
All right, did it work out from Maurice Jones-Drew? Maurice Jones-Drew was a premier running back, but it did not work out.
It was a different era, though.
Yeah, they were still, but that's even when they were cherishing the running back position and paying him. This is different. James Cook, you're not going to also be noticed if you're gone in OTAs. You, as a running back, you go to OTAs to stay in shape and make sure that the coaches remember who you are. Anybody in OTAs can step in and do the running back shit. It's drills, and the most important thing you're going to learn is pass protection language. Other than that, you can pick everything else up in training camp. So you should go so they don't forget about you. Because when these rookies go, they're going to be doing the same stuff that you do. And you're not going to be able to flash your shine because you're not fully padded up and you're just doing drills. So you have to stay in front of them.
Did you see Frank Gore Jr.'s signed card? You did.
It's magical.
It was just FGR. No, it was FGJ that was on.
Yes.
He just wrote it in a marker, FGJ.
That is an autograph I would pay for. I'm not kidding.
I'm serious. I was thinking the same thing. I want that autograph.
I'm not a huge athlete autograph guy.
Neither am I.
I know a bunch of people get really swept up into it. It's not my scene. That autograph is important to me. That Frank Gore Jr. autograph, it means something to me.
Knowing his father, I don't know what Frank Gore Sr.'s his signature was, his autograph was. It makes me happy knowing that there's been some sort of a personality was passed on.
Yeah.
You could tell just based on that signature.
Yes. It's sometimes
more athletes doing that shit. That's
sometimes
awesome.
You got your mom's eyes. Sometimes you got your dad's nose. Sometimes you're a clone direct replica of your dad and you do crazy stuff like this. Like not in cursive, but manual text script your initials.
It was a very refined, detailed lettering. Like he's got pretty good handwriting.
The NFL
It's not like it was like some childish, like fifth grader, this dude didn't know how to write. No, he put a lot of time into that. But there was no cursive.
The NFLPA gets beat up a lot, and they also get praised a lot because they've taken great strides into making sure that football players are better taken care of after the game, and we don't have a bunch of guys with CTE roaming around the streets drinking paint. Like, they've made great strides. Here's what I'll say. If you are an NFL player and you got your son into the NFL, you should be entitled to more compensation from the league. They should take care of you even more.
Sure.
Because you are constantly impacting the legacy of the league. You are keeping them alive. And especially if you have name recognition like Frank Gore, he should just be able to live off the NFL as a sub-institution because he ruled so hard and his kid rules so hard. You need to protect these guys. Make it a true fraternity.
Maybe he'll take James Cook his carries. Maybe that'll happen, and then we'll have something to root for.
I bet he gets in that end zone. I bet he gets in it.
What, he's going to steal the ball from? He's going to take the ball away from?
I hope no, it's a rich vein here. Here's the play. Frank Gore, Josh Allen quarterback sneak. Just kidding. Frank Gore comes up and punches him in the back of the head and gets the ball and takes it in.
Yeah,
that's my nice new play.
Real great strategy.
It's the Puncherooski.